Alrighty, so now we've moved on to from needs to talk about behaviors. This is the second sort of big development in employee motivations. And and this is actually a part of what happened in psychology. We started looking at behavior-based models, and they really, really don't care in this area of psychology what happens in people's minds. No concern about cognition, only concern about actual external behaviors you can observe, okay? What they do and not why they do it. Of course, the first one, and this is the key one, reinforcement theory. Positive reinforcement, people are going to do something that they get rewards for. All right, so if you get something that you like, it's going to be a reward. It's going to make you increase your motivation. Okay, so if you stay late and you get recognition by your manager, then you're going to stay late more because it's something that you like. Negative reinforcement is not punishment. Negative reinforcement means that you avoid something you dislike. What you want to do is you increase your motivation to do something to avoid something you don't like. Okay, so you do something. So you do something, but you do it to avoid experience a bad thing. For instance, for me, when I was in school, I was very afraid always of doing poorly on tests. So I studied crazy hard to avoid failing a test. Now, isn't that funny? I studied crazy hard, not because I wanted a high grade, but I didn't want to get a bad grade. Okay, so the behavior looks the same, but the reinforcement was a little bit different there. And so people confuse this with punishment, and I get it. So if you want to avoid punishment, avoid doing something that you don't like, then you will do something. But there's a big leap between getting that. I'll show you why. Because punishment is you get something you don't like. Okay, and here's the problem with punishment. If you get called out at a meeting for a mistake, you're in a meeting and you say something, your boss calls you out and embarrasses you. Does that tell you what you should do? No. So more likely you're not going to say anything. Positive reinforcements, you don't say. The negative reinforcement would be you don't say anything ever because you don't want to get punished. But did that tell you what you were supposed to do? No. In fact, punishment at work particularly decreases motivation to do anything, and it increases anger. And so it's one of those things where you should really, punishment should not be used at work much at all. You should really be trying to use positive reinforcement to help people be motivated to do things to get the rewards they like. Okay, so here's a Paddock example. It's going to be, you better hop on there first because that's going to be where you find out what the examples are. So this is a true story. State Farm employees were rewarded exclusively for how many new customers they recruited into the company. Okay. How do you think this affected the insurance agent's behavior to existing policy? And how would you change the reward system to correct this? Certainly go ahead and put your answer in and then go respond to some other folks on this. Probably be better, more rewarding for yourself if you don't look at anybody else's things. But I also want to point out there is the New York City stop and frisk policy where they rewarded their police officers. That's looking somewhere else. They rewarded police officers for stopping and frisking people. Okay. They got for kind of enacting this, and this turned out to be an incredibly racist policy, a racist organizational reward structure. So there's a documentary that I will link to. If you have Amazon Prime, you can watch it. But this is absolutely an example of maybe they wanted to, the idea was broken windows. If you get little things, then you can stop break things. But that turns out not to be true. It's not true. And it ended up kind of leading to a racist outcome. So we'll put that in there. Oh my gosh, I thought we would have a pause yet. No. All right, we're going to do goal theory. Oh, heavens, Betsy. Are y'all ready? This one's big. This one's really big. Goal theory. Okay, goal theory is a theory that people are rewarded by achieving goals in their behavior at work. Okay. And this is the model. I'm saving this one for you because you need to go back and get this one. Goal theory, goal setting theory. First of all, we have motivation over here. Okay. Motivation, an employee's motivation. And this is generally more of a distal thing. It's cyclical. This is something that's going to happen over a period of time. Okay. You need a specific goal. So motivation is going to be higher if you have a specific goal. So not I'm going to get a good grade, but I'm going to get an A. Not that I'm going to lose weight, but I'm going to lose 3 pounds. Not that I'm going to run a lot, but I'm going to train for a 5K. The goal is challenging, okay? So, and let's think back to what we talked about with need for achievement. It's moderately challenging, okay? It's going to be more motivating if your goal is to get an A in the class and not to get a C. Oh, there's a dog. All right, if your goal was to get a C in the class, is that very challenging? No, it's not very motivating unless because you think you could get a C in the class without trying. So also it's moderately challenging, like I'd want to run a 5K, not qualify for the marathon or qualify for the Olympics. And then there's commitment. How much is the employee committed to the goal? Okay. And employee commitment is determined by a couple of things. One, competition from other goals. Not from other people, competition from other goals. For instance, if you're trying to get an A in this class and you've got a huge project at work, plus you're getting ready to have a baby, plus there's, I don't know, a pandemic, plus like you're not sure the company's going to make it. There's a lot of other goals and things kind of competing for attention, okay? So employees are more committed when there's not a lot of competition from other goals. Second, how the goal is set, okay? If you decide you want to get an A in this class or you want to do well on the project, or does your mom tell you that she wants you to get an A in the class or to do well on a project at work? Not really as much commitment there, okay? So generally the research says we want the employee and the manager to come together on the goal. What rewards? If you're going to get an A in this class and you get a new car, or if you get an A in this class and you get a banana, might be 2 different reward structures as far as how committed you are to this. Like, think about this. If you do well on a project and you're going to get a $10,000 bonus, or, a good job, may not have the same rewards. And then expectation of success. Okay. We're going to see this come up in some other newer theories you're going to talk about, as well as this comes in with self-efficacy, et cetera. Do you think you can do it? Do you think you can get an A in a particular class? Like I could get an A in an IO psychology class. Could it get an A in a physics class? No, it couldn't. Okay. Can you do the task that's being required of you? All right. So the 4 things that affect commitment are competition from other goals, how the goal is set, what the rewards are, as well as expectations of success with this. Leads to motivation. So the specific goal is challenging, the employee is committed to it, there's effective motivation. And finally, the last one is feedback. And this means that it's not feedback. How well are you doing on this job? Okay, that affects motivation. If you find out that you're doing a good job, positive reinforcement. Oh, look, they're all kind of building on each other. The needs and the positive reinforcements are coming in together. How interesting. Yes. So feedback has to do with motivation. And this is certainly a motivation over a long term. We're going to do an exercise on this in class. So my favorite exercise is, it is an undergraduate one, but I think it's actually perfect for this. Oh my goodness. Okay, that was enough for this one. We're going to switch after this. I'm going to put some links up between the next module, some of the things I referenced. Okay, and stop recording.